Hi, I'm Kai Cheng Thom, and you're watching Ask Kai Quick Tips for the Apocalypse, a series of short videos in which I answer all of your questions about how to survive, thrive, and have amazing sex at the end of the world. So today's fantastic question is, how do I tell my partner that I want more alone time? So this is a really tricky one because there could be a lot of other questions behind it. Sometimes when people say, I want more alone time, they mean I want more alone time in general. Because I'm going through something, because I'm burnt out, because I've just been to a lot of parties and I do a lot of work and I just want to hang out and watch Netflix by myself. So that's one form of wanting more alone time. But the other form of wanting more alone time is like, I would like to hang out with other people, dear partner, but not you. And that's kind of tricky because then it becomes a really different proposition. It means that you're actually spending too much time with your partner, or exposed to your partner, or your partner's doing something that irritates you, or you're doing something in your partner's presence that irritates yourself. And that's just more complex and more challenging to deal with because it's more likely to involve hurt feelings and complex conversations. And then the third kind of question that might be hiding behind wanting more alone time is kind of wanting to break up with your partner and needing the time to figure that out on your own. And that obviously is complex because it might definitely involve a difficult conversation and probably hurt feelings too. So there are a lot of things there. And I think the most important first step is to figure out what is really inside this wanting more alone time. Is it truly wanting time to be alone, or is it wanting time away from your partner? And the more we can be honest, at least with ourselves, about this distinction, the more likely we are to behave in a way that's, first of all, ethical, and second, that is intentional and therefore kinder and more compassionate to everyone involved. If it truly is just needing more time to spend by yourself and, I don't know, watch Netflix, play with sex toys, I don't know, then I think the conversation is likely to be pretty simple, so long as your partner also is a relatively mature person who can handle that. Where you run into difficult territory is where those other two or similar kinds of questions, do I secretly want to break up? Do I want to spend time with people who are not my partner? Start to sort of link into that first question, which is like, I just want to spend time by myself for myself. But when you do figure out that it's like, oh, you're spending too much time with your partner specifically and you need time with other people, or there's something in the relationship that's bothering you and you need it to change or even end the relationship, then really as soon as you figure that out, as soon as it starts to become clear, then you probably should, and I'm always careful about shoulds because every context is unique. But it's probably a good idea to start thinking about how to talk to your partner next about that. You're never going to have a conversation about wanting to change your relationship in a serious way that isn't awkward, and likely it will be painful, but that doesn't mean it will be unsurvivable. And the more honest we are, the more direct we are with ourselves and with our partners, while still holding on to kindness, the more likely it is that we're going to look back and be like, oh, that was like a good conversation where people felt respected. And the more likely it is that you're not going to feel incredible pain forever, because where pain really comes in is where we feel ashamed of ourselves, where our partners feel ashamed because you don't want to spend time with them anymore, and we feel ashamed because we haven't been honest or we've done things in a way that's cruel. So being honest is like saying, I've been spending a lot of time with you and you're great, but I also need other people in my life more. That's being direct. And we really want to be careful of not sliding into cruelty. Like, cruelty would be like, you really annoy me and other people are less annoying than you, or you do things that are very annoying and it makes me not want to hang out with you. No, if we want to do a kinder version of that conversation, it's more like there's a specific thing you do that I find challenging sometimes, and maybe that's just me, but here's why, right? So you sort of go into it. We also don't know how they're going to respond to like equivocations or like going along to get along. So what do I mean by that? We don't really know how the situation will turn out if we just don't say that we don't want more alone time. We don't know how the conversation will turn out if we lie and say, oh, baby, I'm really tired and I have a headache, and then we just keep saying that every weekend while secretly going out to hang out with other friends, right? We don't know how that will turn out either. What we do know is that not being fully honest will extend the situation and the period of stress for longer. And so when we make the calculation that way, it can sometimes be easier to get to having the difficult conversation. And also, we're all human, so it's okay if you have a few false starts. If you're like, I'm going to do it, oh, I'm not, right? Like, you can do a few of those. It's okay. We're all human beings. And, I think that the key words here are honesty and kindness. What's most honest and kind at the same time for your partner, and what's most honest and kind also for you. Finally, like the last thing I have to say about that is one really important thing to hold on to is like a concept of boundaries that most of us don't really kind of think about when we think about boundaries in partnerships, which is that we don't owe our time to anyone and we don't owe being in a relationship with anyone. So if you want time by yourself or you want to even end or take a break from a relationship, that's actually totally in your right. And you don't owe someone to be in a relationship with them or spend time with them just because you're already kind of intertwined or because you're already in a relationship. You can just say that. It's your right. And if your partner doesn't understand that, that's kind of on them. And if they put pressure on you to spend more time with them when you're really clearly saying, what I need is to be alone, well, that's their personal growth to do. They actually also have a lesson to learn about boundaries. Now, what we do owe our partners, however, is honest communication, compassionate communication. Our partners don't want, probably, to be in a relationship where we secretly resent them or secretly don't want to be with them. And that's not actually really a very cool thing to do, is secretly resent or, hide that kind of thing from our partners. And so I think we often get that mixed up. We think we owe our partners physical time together, but we don't owe them honesty. And it's actually the reverse. We owe them honesty and we don't owe them physical time together. And so when we shift that paradigm, I think a lot more things become possible in terms of pursuing our own happiness. And that's what this is all about, pursuing our own happiness in a way that is kind and ethical toward others. So that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Kai Cheng Thom, and this has been Ask Kai, Quick Tips for the Apocalypse. I normally end these videos by saying stay safe, but there's a war. They say that 120,000 people get infected with COVID every day in this province at the time of filming this video. So I don't know. Stay safe or be well. Try. I love you.